No warning, no mercy. The husband kicked his wife out of the mansion and kept everything. "I want you out. Tonight." That's what he said. Just like that. No yelling, no build-up, no warning. I was standing there in my silk robe, hair still dripping from the shower, mascara halfway down my cheek because I'd been crying earlier. Over something he did, of course. I thought he was joking. I even laughed, like an idiot. I said, "What, are you serious right now?" And he just looked at me. That dead kind of look people get when they've already made up their mind. "I've already talked to the lawyer. You're not on the deed. The prenup holds. The car stays here. Pack your stuff." I swear, my ears started ringing. I couldn't even hear the rest of what he said. Something about how I'd changed. How I wasn't the girl he married. How I made everything about me. He said that to me after 10 years. After I gave up my job, moved across the country, played the perfect wife for his rich friends, faked smiles at his mother's birthday brunches, kept quiet about every late-night meeting he swore wasn't an affair. Can you believe that? He stood there with that smug little smirk like he was doing me a favor. I looked around the mansion, our mansion, and it hit me like a truck. None of this was mine. Not the chandelier, not the sofa I picked out, not the wedding photos he'd already taken off the wall. Just like that, I was a guest in my own life. And the host wanted me gone. What would you even do in that moment? Tell me. Have you ever had the rug pulled out from under you like that? I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I think that's what shocked him the most. He expected me to beg, or maybe throw something, to make a scene he could point to later and say, "See? This is why." But I didn't give him the satisfaction. I walked upstairs in a daze. Every step felt heavy, like I was moving through molasses. I opened the closet, our closet, and stared at my things. Designer dresses, bags he bought me to make up for things he never admitted to. Heels I wore for parties where I pretended to be the happiest woman alive. I didn't know what to take. What do you pack when you're leaving your entire life behind? I grabbed a suitcase, threw in underwear, jeans, 2 sweaters, left the gowns, left the jewelry, took the photo of me and my sister from before the marriage, back when I still knew who I was. I walked past him in the hallway. He didn't even look up from his phone, as if I was just noise he was waiting to go away. The front door had never felt so far. When I stepped outside, the air hit me like a slap. The mansion behind me glowed gold in the sunset. Beautiful, expensive, cold, and silent. No one came after me. No car waiting. No friend calling. Just me and that stupid suitcase. I walked to the end of the driveway, heels clicking on the stone, and realized I had no plan. No place to stay. No idea what came next. But I knew one thing for sure. He'd taken the house, the car, the clothes. But he hadn't taken me. Not really. Not forever. I checked into a motel that night with the little cash I had and a credit card I prayed still worked. The mirror in that room didn't lie. Puffy eyes, red nose. Makeup smeared like a battle had been lost, and it had. But as I sat there on that scratchy motel blanket, something shifted. The silence wasn't scary anymore. It was space. Space to think, to breathe, to ask myself questions I hadn't dared to in years. Like, when did I stop recognizing the woman in the mirror? Or, why did I ever let him decide my worth? I thought about all the sacrifices I made, the parties I smiled through, the nights I waited up, pretending not to notice he wasn't texting back, the parts of myself I quietly buried. Ambitions, opinions, even friends, just to keep the peace. He had taken so much, but only because I let him. That stopped now. I opened my laptop, the one thing he never touched, and pulled up an old email. It was from my former boss 2 years ago. "If you ever want to come back, we'd love to have you." I never replied. That night I did. I poured out everything. Not the drama, not the tears, just honesty. My skills, my hunger, my need to start over. The next morning, I had a reply. "We've missed you. Let's talk." And just like that, for the first time in a long time, I felt a flicker of something that wasn't rage or fear or grief. I felt power. Not the kind that comes from money or mansions. The kind that comes from remembering exactly who the hell you are. 6 weeks. That's how long it took to go from that motel room to my own apartment. Small, sure, but mine. A place where no one rolled their eyes at my music, no one forgot my birthday, and no one told me I was being too emotional. I got the job. Not out of pity, out of proof. Proof that I still had it. Maybe I never lost it. Maybe it had just been waiting under the weight of everything he made me believe I wasn't. The first paycheck hit different. I stared at the deposit, not because it was big, it wasn't, but because it was mine. Earned, honest, free. I bought a desk, a plant, a coffee maker, and a new pair of shoes. Not for him, not to impress, but because I liked them. Every day I got stronger. Therapy helped. So did cutting off the fake friends who went radio silent the minute his money stopped being mine. You learn real quick who's clapping for you and who's just there for the front row seats to your fall. And then one night, it happened. I saw him again. At a gala. He was with someone new, younger, of course. Same formula. Thin, quiet, pretty. She looked at him like I used to. Like he hung the stars. He saw me too. I was wearing confidence like armor, hair up, chin high, laughing with people who actually respected me. He came over, smirked, said, "Didn't expect to see you here." I smiled. Yeah, a lot of people didn't. Then I turned away, and that was it. No screaming, no revenge, just peace. Turns out, success really is the best closure. Spring came early that year. Not the weather, me. I felt it in the mornings, waking up without dread. No heaviness in my chest, no pretending. Just sunlight through the windows of a place I built with my own 2 hands. I stopped calling it starting over. Because it wasn't. It was starting right. I launched a side project, consulting for women like me. Women who'd been silenced, sidelined, steamrolled. My inbox flooded. Stories just like mine, only with different names, different scars. Turns out there are a lot of us. Too many. But now we had each other. And that changed everything. One weekend, I drove past the mansion. Just to see, just to know. It looked smaller somehow. I didn't stop, didn't need to. Because I realized the real mansion wasn't built of marble or chandeliers or gold-trimmed gates. It was me, my voice, my choices, my freedom. And that mansion, he could keep it, along with the emptiness echoing through its hallways. I had something better. I had peace, purpose, and the knowledge that I walked through hell and came out on fire. The woman I am now, she scares the version of me who once begged to stay. She'd never ask for permission again. She doesn't wait to be chosen. She chooses herself. So, to the man who kicked me out, thinking he broke me, thank you. Because you didn't ruin me. You rebuilt me. Stronger, smarter, louder, and finally, free. It came on a Thursday, mid-afternoon, casual, unassuming, just a ding on my phone and his name on the screen. Hey, just wondering how you've been. No apology, no explanation, just 6 harmless words, like nothing ever happened. I stared at it for a long time. Part of me expected this. Narcissists always circle back when the silence gets too loud. When their new toy doesn't shine like the last one. When they realize control doesn't come with a guarantee. Didn't respond. Not right away. Instead, I went for a walk. No music, no distractions. Just the sound of my feet on the pavement and the calm that comes when you know you owe someone absolutely nothing. By the time I came back, I knew what to say. I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I didn't give him a performance to remember me by. I gave him truth. I've been good. Actually, I've been great. I found peace. I found purpose. And most importantly, I found myself. You were the lesson. I am the recovery. Don't reach out again. This chapter closed with fire, and I'm writing a new one with gold. Then I blocked him, not out of anger, but out of finality. Because closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. From choosing yourself so unapologetically that the past has no doorway left. And when I turned off my phone and looked around, at my home, my work, the woman I'd become, I smiled. Not because I won, but because I finally stopped playing his game and started building my own world, one he'll never be allowed in again.